Hey everybody, welcome to Mr. Moon Designs. I hope you're doing well. Well, with Valentine's right around the corner and spring not too far away, I thought we would make a nice bracelet that's appropriate for the season. And I'm going to be using beads that I acquired myself on the internet. I will give you some recommendations as to where to get them. Some of them will be button beads with shanks, so I'm pretty sure you could use just about any button bead as long as it's the right size and you follow my instructions about how to knot them in place. And don't forget that I always model my pieces at the end of my tutorials, so please stick around for that. As you can see, this pretty bracelet features 3 little flower beads surrounded by leaf beads and peridot chips, and they're knotted in place with nylon cord. Now we're not going to do a whole bunch of macrame today, we're just going to do a little bit for the sliding knot. I'll show you how to do that. But as you can see, this sweet little bracelet is perfect for Valentine's. You can make it for yourself, for your daughter, your mother, your sister, or your best friend. And the best part about this bracelet is that it's adjustable, so it'll fit any size wrist. And because it's made with nylon cord, you can get it wet and it shouldn't be a problem. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Here are the beads we're going to be using for today's project. Like I mentioned in the intro, these 2 are acrylic and these are peridot chips. And I'm going to give you the measurements of all of these. I'm also going to give you the brands in case you want to search for them on the internet. But I am putting together some kits, guys. This is the first time that I'm doing this, simply because they're actually not very easy to find. These are actually button flower beads, so they have a shank. So you could probably find something similar. They measure 11.5 millimeters across, but the shank is pretty large. And the brand is Ganzia. I actually got them on Panda Haul, but you could probably find them on Etsy or Amazon. Let me show you how big the shank is. As you can see, it's rather large, and I need that because I'm going to slide about 8 strands of cord through that. So you want to make sure your cord fits through the shank. These are leaf beads, as you can see. You can also find them on Etsy and Amazon. They measure 5 by 10 millimeters. And they usually come in 3 shades of green: light, medium, and dark green. This is the medium green. Here's the dark green, and as you can see, the brand is Beaded. And honestly, any of those shades would look good. Now these are very easy to find. You can find them on Amazon. They're tiny peridot chips. I believe the dimensions measure anywhere from 4 by 2 to 3 by 2 millimeters. It varies, of course, because they're gemstones and they're chips. But whatever you get, just make sure you get tiny ones. As an alternative, you could probably use some size 8.0 seed beads, or even size 6.0 as long as they're green. But guys, be creative. You can get green, pink, white. You might want to pick up the colors of the button beads. That would be great too. We're going to be using some nylon cord, and this color is called burley wood. It's kind of a dark beige color, and it's 0.5 millimeters thick. Another thing you might need is some tweezers. I like to use these to make my knots, but if you don't have these, you can use a pair of needle nose pliers instead. And that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and get started. I wanted to give you a quick glimpse of the kits that I'm going to be selling, because honestly guys, it's really difficult to find these beads sometimes, and I do have limited amounts, and once they're sold out, that's it. I'm not going to have any more. I will leave a link to my Etsy store down below in the description section of this video, but like I said, don't be surprised if you go there and they're sold out. But anyway, you're going to get 2 sets of leaf beads, and I'm going to list the colors. So you're going to get either a dark green and a medium green, or a medium green and a light green, but I have a very small amount of the light green ones. Whichever the case may be, you're going to get 2 shades of green. You're also going to get 6 button flowers, 3 peach colored ones and 3 white ones, a bunch of chips, enough to embellish the beaded portion of the bracelet as well as the ends. And of course, you're going to get the cord. You're going to get the 0.5 diameter cord and the 1 millimeter cord to make at least 2 bracelets. The kit will sell for about $10 plus shipping. And like I said, it's not that you can't get the materials yourself, but it's just easier to have everything put together for you in one kit, if that's what you're interested in. And don't forget that the kits won't go on sale until 1 March when I return from vacation. So look out for those on my Etsy store. Let me move this up a little bit. I've cut myself 8 pieces of cord, and each piece measures 18 inches. That's how much you'll need. And I do have them clamped off at this end to keep them together. By the way, I got these clamps on Amazon as well. These are called mini alligator clamps or mini metal clamps. I like to use these because they're very strong. And this piece measures 1/2 inch across. And I think they sell for about $5 for 10. I'm going to leave a list of all the materials down below in the description section of this video. And by the way, you don't have to use this color, obviously. You can use the color of your choice. Perhaps you might want to use something lighter or something darker. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a knot at this end. This is the end that doesn't have a clamp. And I'm going to make my knot at about 6 inches from the end. Let me get my ruler. So somewhere around here. It doesn't have to be precise, guys. It really doesn't. I know those of you who are perfectionists are going to be precise, and that's okay too. So I'm just going to tighten it now. Make sure that I'm at 6 inches approximately. And now what I like to do is to pull each cord to tighten up the knot. So there's my knot. Now, since your kid's going to have cord that's longer, I recommend that you place your first knot at about 7 inches. Mine's at 6 inches because my cord is shorter, obviously, but your kid's going to contain 20-inch pieces of cord. Let me move it this way. I'm going to remove the clamp. And now I need to separate these cords into 3 sections. This first section is going to have 2 pieces of cord. And I'm trying to use the 2 pieces that are on this side of the whole group. I'm going to place a clamp to keep them together, like this. And now I need another 2 on this side. Let me place a clamp. And now these 4 are going to be clamped together. Like that. Let me show you. So that's what we have so far. We have 2 cords, 4 cords, and another 2. Now you don't have to clamp them off like this. It just makes things a little bit easier. Trust me. Let me just move everything down. And now we're ready to slide on some beads. So I'm going to take this one here, remove my clamp. I'm going to start with a leaf bead. And I'm going to slide my cord through the hole. Both of them, just like this. Move it down. And now I'm taking these 2. And I'm going to do the same thing. Now you might want to burn your ends to make it easier to slide the cord through, but I'm doing okay so far. I'm going to put my clamp back on, and I need to put my clamp back on these 2 as well. I forgot about that. So that's what we have so far. So now we're going to slide on a flower bead. Let me take this top one. Slide on a flower bead. Like this. I'm going to take these 4 now. Remove the clamp. And I'm going to slide them through the flower bead as well. Hopefully I can do all 4. Pull it through. This goes this way. And look at this, I forgot to clamp these off. I keep forgetting to do that. It's important that you do that to keep them separated. And now these 4 need to be clamped off as well. So now we have these 2 that are clamped off and these 4 that are clamped off. And now I need to slide these 2 cords through the flower bead as well. So I'm going to pick it up and try to slide these 2 through the best way I can. There we go. And let me clamp it off before I forget. So this is what we have so far. Isn't it adorable? I love it. I love the look. That's what it looks like from the back. Let me just make sure that I have everything in order. So I have these 2 cords. I have my center cords, the 4 of them. And then I have these 2. So far, so good. And now we're going to add another set of beads. So I'm going to take this top one, remove the clamp, slide on a leaf bead. Let me see if I can do both. There we go. Clamp it off. And now these 2 bottom ones. Slide on another leaf bead. And actually at this point, you really don't need to clamp things off because now we're going to create a knot there. So let me go ahead and remove these other 2 clamps. Bring them together. Slide everything down. This is probably going to be the most difficult part about this project. You want everything nice and snug. You don't want any loose strands of cord. Let me show you the back. That's what you want. You're going to see a little bit of cord, but you want all the beads up against each other like this. And you want to make sure that your leaves are sitting up against the flower bead like this. You don't want them turned on their side or anything. I hope that makes sense. So now we're going to create a knot. This is the trickiest part about this project. So here are my tweezers. I'm going to go through the loop and grab all 8 pieces like this, pull them through, and I actually missed one. So now I have all 8 pieces through the loop like this. I'm going to check my beads again to make sure they're all up against each other. I'm going to go through the loop and grab the 8 pieces on the other side. Like this. And again, I can't emphasize the importance of making sure that everything's nice and snug. I think that's good enough. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull the tails of all 8 cords like this. Make sure you pull nice and tight. And now I'm going to slide my tweezers out and slide my knot down. And now I'm going to use my fingernail. I'm going to hold onto the knot like this. And I'm going to take each individual piece and pull to tighten that knot. And as I'm pulling, I'm also sliding the knot down towards the beads with my fingernail. That looks good. So that's done. And this is what you should have. Let me show you the back. As you can see, this knot and this knot is sitting up against the leaf beads. That's what you want. And that's all there is to it. I'm going to do 2 more just like this for a total of 3. So once again, we need to separate the 2 cords on this side, the 2 on this side, and then we have the 4 in the middle. I'm going to place a clamp on these 2. Another one on these 2. And another one on these 4. Just like that. And now I'm ready to start the same process. So I'm going to take these 2, remove the clamp, slide on a leaf bead, it is a little tricky. Put my clamp back on these 2. Take these bottom 2, slide on a leaf bead, like that. Attach my clamp. So that's what we have. And now I'm going to take these top 2, slide on a flower bead. I'm going to slide on the white one this time. Let me do that again. Take the middle 4, remove the clamp, slide them through the shank, all 4 if possible. Otherwise you can separate them if you need to, and do one at a time or a couple at a time. Let me put the clamp on these 2. I forgot again. I don't know what's wrong with me today. And of course I need to clamp off these 4 as well. And now I'm going to slide these 2 cords into the flower bead. It's easy if you wrap your cord around like this to widen that space a little bit. Let me put the clamp on before I forget. Let me flip it around. So now the flower bead is on, and now I'm ready to slide on 2 more leaves. So I'm going to grab these 2, the top 2, slide my cord through the bead, I'm going to go ahead and clamp it off even though I don't need to, just to keep them out of the way. And now the bottom 2 pieces of cord. So now I have my 4 leaves, and now I'm ready to do another knot. So I'm going to remove my clamps. You do want to keep them nice and straight. Pick up my work. Arrange my leaves so they're sitting properly. Make sure there's no slack. That's what you want. Let me show you the back. And now I'm going to create another knot. So I'm going to do a loop. Reach through the loop with my tweezers, grab all 8 pieces, pull them through, slide my beads down again the best way I can, go through the loop with my tweezers, grab the cords on the other side of the loop. Let me just make sure there's no slack at all. That looks pretty good. And now I'm going to pull the tails, slide my tweezers out, slide the knot down, put my fingernail on the knot, and now I'm going to grab each individual cord and pull on it to tighten that knot. And that's what we have so far. Let me show you the back. There's the back. Everything looks like it's sitting properly. I really love the way these look. They're so adorable. And that's pretty much how you create these components. Of course, you can do as many as you want to. I like 3 because 3 seems to be the right width for my wrist. Plus, we're going to be adding these Peridot chips on the end. So by the time we get done, the beaded portion will be a little bit more than 2 inches long. It'll probably be around 2 1/4. And I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm going to do the third one off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and I've completed the third component. I've also added some Peridot chips at this end. So now I'm going to show you how to do the same thing on this end. It's pretty easy, but I am going to recommend that you burn the ends of your cord so that they go through the chips easier. And I'm only going to slide on 4 chips. So that means I'm going to burn 4 cord ends. And like I always keep saying, just do whatever you think you like. You can do 4, you can do 5 or 6. It's up to you. I just don't like it too bulky on the ends. I definitely don't want this section to be any bigger than the flower components because I want it kind of tapered. So let me spin this around. And you can choose any 4 of these 8 cords. It really doesn't matter. Let me go ahead and pick up this one. I'm going to use some finger protectors. These are actually called hot glue gun finger protectors. And I got them on Amazon. And the reason I use these is because I'm a baby. And I don't like to burn my fingers. So I'm going to burn the end. It just makes it a little bit stiffer. And now let me slide on one of these chips the best way I can. And I know my fingernails are getting in the way, but I got lucky this time. Let me attach it to this clamp so I don't lose the chip. And now let me choose another one. I think I'll choose this one. Once again, I've got my finger protectors on. And let me slide on another chip. See if I'm lucky this time. There we go. And I'm going to attach it to this clamp as well. So I have 2 of them clamped on like this. Let me choose this one now. Like I said, it really doesn't matter which cord you choose. Burn off the end. Once in a while you may see a little fibrous bit. You can just snip it off. Let me pick up another chip. Sometimes it's easier than other times. And I know my fingernails are in the way. I apologize about that. There we go. Let me attach it to this clamp. now let me choose the fourth piece of cord. I think I'll choose this one. Melt off the end. Now sometimes these fibrous bits come in handy if you're trying to feed it through small beads or small holes. But I'd rather not have them for the chips. It's just easier without the fibrous bit on the end. There we go. That wasn't too bad. So now I'm going to remove the clamp of these 3 pieces of cord. Slide everything down. Once again, you want to try to eliminate any spaces. You want the beads up against each other, pretty snugly, like this. And now I'm going to make a knot. Go through the loop with my tweezers, grab the cord on the other side, and pull the cord through. Slide the beads down. Go through the loop again, grab the cord on the other side. Get rid of any spaces. So now my chips are on there, and I think it looks really, really nice. I love it. There's the back. So now we just need to finish the bracelet with a sliding knot. And to do that, I'm going to clear my table. I'm going to remove the mat and everything else because we're actually going to have to tape off the ends to the surface. So let me do that and I'll be right back. As you can see, I've cleared my table, and now we need to create 2 knots, one here and one here. Let me measure this piece. It measures 2 inches if you include the knots, which is a little bit less than what I had thought it would be, but that's okay. I could have added more chips to lengthen it, but I chose not to. Like I said, it all depends on how it fits on your wrist, and this is perfect for mine. But anyway, guys, I encourage you to be creative. You could add some extra beads here right by the knot, either Peridot chips or some other kind of large hole bead, and it would look really nice. I can see sliding on a gold middle bead with a large hole right there by the knot. That would look nice. It would pick up the gold from the flowers. But I'm going to stop right here. Now I want my bracelet to be 6 inches long, so I need to do some math. 6 minus 2 is 4, which means that I need to place my knots 2 inches from the beaded portion. So let me do that. So I'm just going to make a knot. It's easier for me to grab them with the tweezers and pull them through. Before I tighten it, I need to double check. And I'm going to pull each one. Let me check again. That's about 2 inches. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So now I have my knots done. So now we're going to create a sliding knot closure. I'm going to need to tape down my bracelet. I'm going to use some Scotch tape. And now I need to create a little space under there. So let me slide my tweezers under there. I really don't need that much space. Now in your kits, you're going to get cord that's 20 inches long, because as you can see, I really don't have that much left. I used 18-inch pieces, but I want you to have plenty of cord so you don't struggle with it. Now for the sliding knot, I'm going to use a thicker diameter cord. I'm going to use 1 millimeter, and it's in the same color. And this one's actually satin nylon cord, which means that it should slide a little bit easier, because satin is a little bit shinier, but not too much. And I've cut myself a 14-inch piece. You're going to get 2 14-inch pieces in your kits. I'm going to slide it underneath. Find the center. Make a knot. Let me just move this up a little bit. I'm going to start by making a loop on this side, on the left side, like this. Take the right cord, go underneath, grab it, and pull on both cords. And now I'm going to take the right cord, make a loop on the right, take the left cord, go over the top of this cord and underneath all 8, and pull. So that's 2 square knots and 1 overhand knot. And I'm going to repeat the same thing. I'm going to take the left side, make a loop on the left, take the right cord, go over this cord here and underneath all 8 like this, and pull. Make a loop on the right, take the left cord, go over this cord here, and then go underneath all 8. Let me just lift them and pull. And you can do this as many times as you want to, but I don't recommend a very long sliding knot because it's not very attractive. I think I'm going to do one more though. So I'm going to make a loop on the left, take the right cord, go over this cord here, go underneath, grab it, and pull. And that's good enough, I think. So now we're going to snip off the ends and melt them down. Let me go ahead and remove the tape. Let me tighten it before I snip it off. I'm going to leave just a little bit, as you can see, maybe 2 millimeters, something like that, or a little bit less. And let me go ahead and melt it. Actually, let me do a little bit more. There we go, that's better. And now this side. I'm going to snip it and melt it. And now I'm going to pull the ends. Make sure it slides properly. It's a little bit tight at first, but it loosens up with time. So there's my knot. Let me open it up. It opens up just fine. And you do want to test it to make sure it fits over your wrist. And mine does just fine. So I've slid the cord out about 1 inch from this knot here. On both sides, you want to make sure both sides are even. And now I'm going to add some beads to the ends to dress them up a little bit. And that's very easy to do. I'm going to use these Peridot chips. And I don't know if I'm going to add a chip to all 8 cords. I'll see in a few moments. I'm going to add 4 of them to see how it looks. And then if it looks like it needs more, I'll add more. Otherwise, I'm just going to knot off the remaining cords. So let me go ahead and do one. And I'm going to burn off this end to make it easier to thread through the chips. Let me snip off this fibrous bit. Let's see if I can get lucky this time. There we go. I'm having a pretty good day today. So now I'm doing an overhand knot. Just like that. I'm going to snip off this cord. Let me move my bead down. I probably should have snipped off a little bit more. And once again, I'm going to burn off the end. Melt it down, I should say. And that seals it in place. Now you don't have to make them all even. The bracelet actually looks nicer when these ends are different lengths, but it's up to you guys, it really is. Let me keep going. Okay, as you can see, I've done 4 of them, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest of them the same way. I think that would look nice because these are small enough that I don't think they'll be too bulky. So let me keep going. Okay, as you can see, I've completed all 8 cords. Doesn't that look adorable? I love it. I think it's really pretty. So now I'm going to do the other side off camera, so this video isn't too long, and I'll see you in a few moments. Well, here's my finished bracelet. As you can see, I added the chips to each cord end. Now another thing you could do, if you didn't want all this, is just to gather up all 8 pieces and make a knot, trim it, and then melt off the ends. Because honestly, guys, having all these tassels makes it a bit fiddly. But if you can tolerate that, then I think this is a very pretty option. I know some people don't like to mess with tassels and dangles and things. So anyway, I'm pretty happy with this bracelet. I like the finished product. It's kind of dainty and pretty and perfect for spring. Let me put it on. And here it is. Isn't this darling? It really is. I really like it. And I like the dangles personally. I don't mind fiddling with them. But anyway, guys, I think it's a very pretty bracelet and very romantic, that's for sure. And I am going to put it on again for you at the end of this video so you can see what it looks like from a distance. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial and I hope you can make your own bracelet. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Have a great day and I'll see you next time. Bye.